Good afternoon. I am Christine Williams, and the title of my graphic novel is Blood Work. The creative team for my novel is the author is Kim Harrison. Her pencilers are Pedro Maya and Gemma Magno. Her inkers are Iman Casalalos and Jan Michael T. Aguilera and Jezreel Rojales. The colorists are P.C. Siquiera and May Ho. For lettering and design, we have Zach Metheny. The publisher is Del Rey, and Del Rey is a division of Random House Incorporated. The length of my graphic novel is 144 pages, yet we have 16 pages that are directed at learning each member of the creative team, as well as opening the door for the next book in the series. Bloodwork is a genuine graphic novel. The novel is set in Cincinnati, Ohio, during the time that the existence of vampires, witches, werepeople, fairies, trolls, ghouls, and goblins, etc. They're not hidden. They're not a secret. They they reveal themselves to the world to try to assist the world in defeating a virus that was going to destroy everyone. Thereby, they saved humanity. Since then, there's been a deal brokered between the regular humans and the leaders of the non humans. The regular humans will continue policing their people. The non humans have an agency called the Interland Security. Their job is to police and monitor the non humans. This is the agency that our heroes, Ivy and Rachel, work for. What caught my attention about this storyline was the powerful vampire working with a powerful witch. Those of you that don't know me don't understand. I'm really into vampires and I'm really into witches. And a story with them working together was not something that I could pass up. Now, Ivy is the main character. She's tough, she's smart, she's sexy, and she's the vampire. She's really above board about everything, just following the rules and doing what needs to be done as her leaders or those above her has asked her to do. Rachel, on the other hand, is gentle. She's smart, sexy, and tough in a soft, genteel kind of way. And Rachel herself is a witch. Now, back to the important stuff. The artist's coloring distinction shows the difference between Ivy's powers and Rachel's powers. This is pretty cool and eye-catching. It is sensual in a way. Yet initially it was confusing for me because I'm not an avid graphic novel reader or a comic book reader. Therefore, I had to get used to the pictures and the boxes telling the story and the different colorations together all telling everything at the same time. In this graphic novel, there are splash pages. The splash pages are not overwhelming, yet there are splash pages at the end of each chapter. And with that, the splash pages are consummating the ending of the chapters. There's an epilogue at the end of the novel, which is not a splash page, don't get me wrong. There's numerous panels in that page, and it gives a lot of information leading into the next novel of the series. This series, the series of Bloodwork, this book, Bloodwork, has 7 chapters. I'm not sure if the author followed the 1/4, 1/2, 1/4 pacing, yet the story itself keeps the reader engaged. I know it kept me engaged, let me say that. This story does have a story arc. Both of the investigators start out in this story with lack of respect for each other. They feel as if the other is weak, stupid. You know, Rachel feels as if Ivy is a bloodlusting vampire. Ivy feels as if Rachel is a little hippie hauling around amulets and very weak. But through this story, they learn something about each other. They grow from ignorance to slight knowledgeable about each other. I felt like it was an awesome revelation for Ivy to admit that she wanted to have Rachel, but not have Rachel because of her bloodlust, but because of the power Rachel exuded. Rachel's aura let off such a strong smell of power that it was overpowering Ivy. Now, Rachel has a slight character arc because she learns that not all vampires are terrible, bloodthirsty, and ignorant and lack self control. Yet, in this chapter of this series, the true character arc is Ivy. She learns to practice self control as well as determining that she has been manipulated and trained by Piscari to Piscari is the leader of the vampires in this region. And from what I can see, because we don't see much of him right now, he uses his power to train his people to be in any way that he wants them to be. He also leaves them sexually hungry and eager, practically begging for him to show them the slightest bit of attention. In Ivy's case, he's abused, manipulated, and trained her to be hot-headed and bloodthirsty. Piscari, as I said, isn't really in this novel, but I do see him being a big part of the rest of the series. Ivy grew to not only respect the power of witches, but to respect her power and the power of self-control. That in itself is a great character arc from someone who lacks self-control, who would jump at the drop of a dime to bite into someone's neck and have what they want, to someone who shows self-control and determines why it is they want this person. The only transitions that I can clearly see are the transitions from chapter to chapter, which is the splash page consummating the ending of a chapter. Now, this story itself, in my opinion, does make the use of a mini comic, and it works effectively. But again, I'm not strong in the world of graphic novels or comics. Bloodworks' movement of art and directional flow keeps the reader focused on pulling into the directional flow of the book, meaning they want to move forward and continue reading to see what is next. Although the storyline itself kept me interested in finishing the book. There are clear endings to each chapter, as there always is, yet there is always something to bring the reader in to make them want to learn a little more about what's happening next. I was drawn to the seductive way that both Ivy and Rachel's powers have been drawn. I'm looking forward in the future of this series to seeing the clash between these two. I also want to witness the full character arc of Rachel. Therefore, I look forward to reading the rest of this series. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoy. And again, the title of my graphic novel is Bloodwork. Have a great day. Good luck to everyone.